Hey guys, welcome to Chef Grace's Place. Today, I guess I don't know if this is a podcast or an interview, but my guest today is Lorinda from Study as She Grows. I love watching
Hi,
her YouTube channel.
my
She has a
new YouTube channel.
new, just like me, and
I know, I think we started around the same time.
yeah, and she
Yeah.
does gardening. She's getting into a bit of cooking from her garden. And I just wanted to learn more about Lorinda because every time I'm watching her, it feels like we're hanging out. So I'm like, I gotta
Yeah.
learn more about Lorinda. So
Yeah. I don't know how I found your channel either. I think it was like a suggested video. And I'm like, oh, I love her headband. And so I clicked on your video and I really liked it. So I
nice.
love
You just
cooking videos and
there you go.
tutorials and stuff like that. So I'm Steady as She Grows from sunny Southern California. And this is my 4th season gardening. And it's a lot of fun. Keeps me busy. And I just started my YouTube channel in February, I think, right as the whole COVID thing was starting. I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, and I did have some videos on YouTube a couple years prior, like 1 or 2 videos here and there, but I decided to finally put full dedication to my channel this year as this growing season started. So, and here I am. It's been fun. It is a lot of work, let me tell you, but it is fun. Still getting the hang of it, and I do it. It's all me on my smartphone, and editing and stuff like that. So it's been a learning process.
What
So
program are you using to edit everything?
it's called Power Director. It's
Haven't
an
heard of that.
app for Android, and it
Okay.
is so user friendly. I was telling my husband, like, this app, because he's
You keep
the techie in the
freezing a
house.
little
So
bit.
every time I need help with something, I go to him, and he's okay. Or maybe it's the Wi-Fi out here. I don't know. I'm outside. But if it does again, let me know. I use Power Director. It's very user friendly, like I said. And my husband had used the app to edit his music videos because he's a musician and he does a little, promo videos and stuff like that. So he showed me how to use it, and I love it. You can do everything with it. So and I believe it was pretty cheap, like $10 or something like that.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's what I use, all in my phone. And I want to learn how to get into better software because you only can store so much video on your phone. So
Yeah, I
and it's filling up pretty quick. So I need to get some of it off. So I think I might get another camera now that I'm getting more into this and stuff like that. So we'll
yeah
see. Yeah. What do you use?
I use Premiere Pro with Adobe. Um,
Okay.
just because in high school I took Photoshop, so it was really easy to kind of translate because it's Adobe software to like translate those skills into that. Um, but for the storage, I have a camera, but I actually wound up buying an external hard drive, which wasn't that expensive. It was like $15.
Okay.
So I store everything on that, and it's like a terabyte of
Okay.
memory, which is really nice. But
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting an external and just moving everything over.
yeah, like
I hear a
once I
plane
run
going
out of
by.
room, I don't hear it, so that's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah, just to move everything off my phone to make room.
yeah,
But it's easy for me. But my son just got a brand new camera because he wants to start taking photography. So I might just have him start videoing me making my videos because it's hard. It's hard to do it yourself. I wish I had somebody following me or zooming in on this and zooming in on that. So I might take advantage of his new toy.
yeah. So what got you into gardening 4 seasons ago?
Um, I've lived in my house for about 11 years now, and the first 8 years or 7 years, my backyard has been nothing but a patch of dirt. I didn't really know what to do with it. I worked full time, had little kids at the time. I just didn't have time to do anything with it. And then at one time, we put a giant pool back there, an above ground pool that the kids swam in maybe 3 times. And I'm like, I'm over this pool thing. Nobody swims in it, and they don't even want to take care of it. It's like a science experiment, you know, with the chemicals and, you know, all that work and all that money, and they never swam in it. So we got rid of that. And I'm like, I started watching a YouTube video on gardening. And I want to say it was Roots and Refuge Farm, but I can't remember. But I just got so inspired. And I'm like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a vegetable garden. And with me, it's either go big or go home. So I kind of found these planter blocks at Home Depot where you just slide in the wood and you put these little block things in the corner, almost like Lincoln logs. You know, you don't have to nail nothing together. It was really easy. So I started that in January of 2017. And then in February of 2017, my dad passed away. And he was in the hospital just as I was starting this garden adventure. And he was so excited for me. And I told him about it. He told me to plant turnips. You know, he was really looking forward to seeing it because he loved gardening. And then he never got to see it. So the garden kind of helped me grieve through that process. And then that November of 2017, I lost my sister. She did get to see the garden and she loved it. That summer was the first summer it thrived. And it was just beautiful. She called it the jungle, you know, because it was just wild and I had no clue what I was in for. Everything was just overgrown. And then that November, she passed away. Both of them from complications with diabetes. They were both on dialysis. They both had were on insulin. So, and she was only 36. She had a stroke at 33, and then it was just kind of like, you know, downhill from there. So, and I have diabetes. I'm a type 2 diabetic. So, you know, I'm like, okay, this is it, Lorinda, I'm going to do this. We're going to get healthy. We're going to grow our own food. And it just really helped me again, grieve. And I just put everything I had into the garden. And it's just been an amazing experience. Just what I've done from nothing. Like I look around and think like I did this from nothing. The only thing I had was this pomegranate tree behind me that was here when I bought the house that I didn't even care about the pomegranates. Like I never even really ate them, you know, and now I make jelly from them and I can't wait for them. And I have so many this year. At one point, my husband chopped this tree down like to a stump. And I was so upset. He was just supposed to prune it and got carried away and took it completely down. And it took 3 years for it to come back, but it came back and it's just thriving. Oh my God, there's a Japanese beetle by my head. I hate these things. And and that's what I've been doing. And last year I watched a YouTube video of another gardener called Sarah's SoCal Garden. She has a YouTube channel as well. She entered her vegetables in the Orange County Fair. And I thought, oh, I'm going to do that. That sounds so cool. I didn't even think about doing that. And I live in Orange County. So last year I did. And over the course of the fair, I took home like 14 blue ribbons, a bunch of second place,
amazing.
a bunch of third place, and I even got best of show for my Cubanelle bell peppers. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just shocked. It was so much fun. So this year, I'm like, I'm going to grow all these vegetables for the fair, just for the fair. I'm so excited. And then COVID killed it.
Well, at least
They
you're not
killed
going to
the
go
fair.
hungry, though.
So, you do.
Oh, man. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So that's what I've been doing. And yeah, that's how I kind of got started and where I'm at. And the YouTube channel has been fun. I did my first cooking video that I posted last week, and it was so long. I look at it now and I'm like, what was I thinking? It's like an hour long. Nobody wants to sit and watch you for an hour. So I need to learn to, you know, shorten it up. And I did even put a lot of hyper speeds like in the middle, you know, of certain processes. And yeah, I need to get better at that one.
No, that's definitely hard with the cooking stuff because it's hard to be like, if I cut this out, are they going to know how to do it? Or like, Yeah,
Yeah.
am I dragging? Is this a funny story or it doesn't need it, you know?
Exactly. And like
Yeah.
I talk and I was talking so much through it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut out that story, and oh, I don't want to cut out that, but I really should have. Whatever.
I think, I like the longer videos because, especially now that we can't really go out, I don't have a car, so I just hang out at home most of the time
Oh.
anyway. So, I I'll have your video on or I listen to, Joe Rogan podcast or, things
Yes.
like that,
I
and
started
I
to listen to that too. Um,
just
yeah, my
kind
son
of
got me turned on to him, but I'm a big podcaster too. I love podcasts. I actually used to have a podcast. Me and my sisters had a podcast called Four Sisters in a Bottle, where we just shared a bottle of wine and, shoot the shit. And we did that for about 3 years. And then that's when she got sick. So then we kind of stopped it because she couldn't really do it too much anymore. So, but yeah, I love podcasts. It's a way to pass the time while you drive or while you cook. Because sometimes when I watch TV when I cook, you can't really watch and then cook because you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Oh my God, this
exactly.
June bug, this Japanese beetle is right above my head.
I can't see it at all, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's like right out of view. I'm sorry. I have
It's
to.
fine.
Okay, it went away. I scared it. Sorry. Oh my God. And it just
Oh, I see
zapped.
it,
Oh
I
my
see it.
gosh.
Oh my god.
I got it. Daisy, get it. Get it, Daisy, get it.
Yeah.
Okay, it took off. Oh my gosh. That's my life, like in a nutshell right there.
So,
So,
how as from a chef standpoint, I'm really interested, since you started gardening, how much has that changed your diet and has that really improved your, health in regards to your diabetes?
yes. With me, it's really hard to get my sugars under control. I have such a sweet tooth, it's terrible. I love sweets, and that's the hard part. But having the garden, it's so physical. Like, I'm out here sweating, I'm hauling bags of soil, I'm digging, I'm on my hands and knees most of the time. So I've lost some weight doing that. And I'm eating more vegetables, and vegetables that I've never eaten before. And because, you take so much time to grow it, you're going to eat it.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not going to let it go to waste, because you know how much time, money, water you put in to that food, to that, plant. So I'm eating a lot more than I probably ever have in my life. And I love vegetables though. Like, I've always loved vegetables. My parents, like, they made one thing for dinner and that was it. If you didn't like it, you didn't eat. So because they, liked vegetables and stuff, we grew up eating all that stuff. I don't think there was anything I didn't like. I'm such a foodie. Like, I love everything pretty much. Um, so because of eating more greens and more stuff like kale, like, I've never eaten kale before. So and now I just ordered a juicer that was supposed to be here on Monday, but because COVID is making everything take so much longer, it hasn't even been delivered yet. I think it's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. So I'm excited to start juicing, because you can only eat so many cucumbers and so much kale in a salad. Like, I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm going to start juicing everything and having juice for breakfast, green juices, carrot juices, all that stuff. So,
Well, one thing about the juice, that a lot of people don't realize before they start juicing is that it takes out a lot of the fiber and it leaves you with a lot of the sugar. So it's definitely something you want to keep an eye on, you know?
yes. And I thought of that too, because I know, like, I can't drink orange juice really, because it has way too much sugar. Um, so I want to do a lot of green juices, maybe throw in half of an apple, but mostly for the green, um, to get in some of those nutrients, because I just don't
Yeah.
want to see it go to waste. Because my whole family, like, they'll eat it in a salad, if I cook it up, they'll eat it, but I have so much, like, you only can eat so much and then it goes to waste. So, and
Have
I
you
have
tried
tried freezing some of it.
dehydrating?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Like
like
I've
kale chips and stuff?
dehydrated. I haven't tried dehydrating the kale. Um, I haven't. I think I did once, and I didn't know you're supposed to put like oil on it or something. And like I went to take it out and it just disintegrated into nothing. Like seriously, like poof of powder, it was gone. I'm like, okay, well that didn't go as planned. Um, but then I heard that you could put it in the oven and
Yeah.
dehydrate it in there and kind of bake it in there. So I have a few different things to try, but I'm excited about juicing. We'll see if I like it. I didn't spend a whole lot of money on a juicer just in
That's good.
case I can't keep up with it or I decide I don't like it. I'm not
Well,
out
it's good for like, more than
too
just
much. So,
juicing.
so we'll see.
Yeah.
And oh, what I really, really want to use it for is for my pomegranates. Because
Yes.
last year I made pomegranate jelly, and I have a hand press juicer where you load in all the little arrows in like a little cup and you squeeze it. I did that. Oh, it took so long to juice all the pomegranates that I had just to make jelly. So I thought at least I can use it for that. If nothing else goes, I can use it for that, to
Well, one
extract the
thing,
juice so I can make my jelly. That was the hardest part.
like if I had a pomegranate tree, one thing I've always wanted to try to make, which is not healthy, but whatever, is like homemade grenadine, because grenadine's
Yes.
actually
Yes, and
pomegranate.
that's what I want to do this year. I didn't even think about it last year until like it was too late and I was out of pomegranates. But yes, I would love to make homemade grenadine for sure.
That would be so cool.
My pomegranates, they're so sweet. They are so delicious. Like they're like vibrant dark red. They're really good. And this year I have a lot. I have a bumper crop this year. I mean, you can just see some of them behind me. They're just like waiting, and so I'm really excited for them. It's my favorite thing in the garden and I can't wait. And I'll just, open them up and just pop a few in my mouth, while I'm watching TV. Like it's the best snack. And I start running out around January is like when everything that I picked, because they last a long time in the fridge. That's when I kind of am running out, and I get so sad because you have to wait again until October for them. So I love them.
That's so cool. So, how old are you? You have your house for 11 years? I thought you were like 20 something.
Shut up! Oh my God, I love you. I'm 42.
Wow.
Yes.
I was like, wait, she has
See,
all these kids?
vegetables.
11 years? What the?
This is what happens when you eat vegetables.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
so
nope, I'm
funny.
42. I turned 42 in April. I was born
Wow.
1978, and that sounds so long ago. It really does. But
Um,
how old are you?
I just turned 29 in March. So,
Oh, wow.
yep,
Okay.
almost in my 30s.
You're a baby.
Well, gotta
Oh,
keep
to be
eat my
29
vegetables.
again. I started early. I got married at 21. My husband and we met in an AOL chat room in 1999.
Oh man, that's okay.
Right?
I am being actually my boyfriend. We live together now. We met when we were in 8th grade. So we were
Oh,
IMing all
wow.
the time. So,
That's
on the
funny. That's
family
so cool.
computer, so you had to be careful about what you were saying.
Seriously. And it's funny. I had my computer for only a week. Like I had bought it from somebody at work. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese at the time, and someone was selling a computer. And I'm like, okay. And I was so addicted to the internet. Like as soon as it came out, I had to check my email. I had to go in a chat room, and I was already running late for work. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go check my email real quick. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to go into a chat room real quick. And I went into this chat room, and it was for the city of Whittier, like a city chat room. And it was me and only one other person in there. And this one guy was promoting his ska band. And I'm like, I love ska, so we just started talking. And the next thing we know, our first date was on Thanksgiving, like a couple weeks later. His family was done eating. My family was done eating. He's like, let's go to the movies. And my sisters were all skeptical, like, what if he's a psycho? You know? So when he picked me up for our date, my sisters followed us in a car behind us. And he was like, there's a car following us. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, he's like, I'm going to try to lose it. And I'm thinking in my head, please don't. So finally I had to come clean and say, okay, those are my sisters. They're really scared and they want to make sure I'm safe. So it's my sisters following us. They're like, oh, that's okay. So they ended up coming all with us to the movies. And it was like a triple date. So, and the rest is history. We've been married it'll be 21 years in September.
That's awesome.
So yeah, kind of funny where life takes you.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's warm out here today. How's the weather in Florida?
Well, it's kind of in that hot season where it rains like half the day and then it's sunny and can't make up its mind what it wants to do. It's just super humid. But it's nice. I'm actually from New Jersey, so
Okay.
it's it doesn't bother me. People are like, "Oh my god, it's raining." I'm like, "Yeah, you don't know about the snow." So,
Yeah, we are having the best weather here in SoCal. It's 75 degrees today, breezy. It's beautiful. This whole week is supposed to be like in the 70s.
yeah. I mean, it's still
So,
pretty
which is
hot.
really
Yeah.
unusual for Southern California this time of year. But yeah, I'm taking advantage of not having to run my air conditioning.
Yeah, that's expensive. But we have a small apartment, so it's not too expensive. But yeah, I'm just having trouble with the growing stuff because it's so hot here. And like in my mindset, I'm like, oh, it's summer, it's time to grow tomatoes. But like in Florida, it's like, no, you can't grow tomatoes in the
Really,
summer.
it's just
So
too hot. Hmm.
yeah.
Do your tomatoes are they in full sun or is there shade?
They get shade for like probably like the shade and the whole morning is like full sun. But it's really
Okay.
just it's just so hot that they keep
Yeah,
flowering and then the flowers
the
fall off.
flowers drop off. Yep, that's the
So
heat.
I'm actually I've been taking cuttings from them because I figure if I don't
Mm,
get any flowers, I mean any tomatoes, at least I can like propagate a bunch of plants.
mm.
So if I don't get any tomatoes from them, I can have some ready for when the cooler weather comes.
Yeah.
So it's not like a total waste.
Can you bring your tomatoes in the house? Is that a possibility?
No,
No.
it's too small.
Gotcha.
It's literally like storage containers.
Hey, whatever works.
I see. I'm just not going out there because
I'm growing in Christmas tree colors. Oh
our
yeah.
air conditioner unit is like right out there, so it's super loud for like the 3 apartments. That's my
Oh,
little
wow, cool. I
little
love
garden
it.
setup. We got some lettuce up there.
That's awesome.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
I bike everywhere because we share the one car. But it gets so hot here, you gotta be careful with the sun.
Yeah. That is cool though. That's really cool.
Oh, sorry, I gotta cut this part out. All right,
Edit.
turn it around. But I've been getting a lot of like basil and stuff from there, so it's good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my basil, it's doing okay. It's starting to put off flowers, but it doesn't really change the flavor, but it does make the leaves a little tougher. But we still eat it. It still tastes good to me.
Yeah, I was watching Epic, Epic Gardening.
Oh
You
yes,
watch that channel?
San Diego.
Yeah, he he has a lot of different basil. So I don't know what kind of basil I have because I just bought it from Whole Foods and put it in a thing.
Yeah, I think I bought my basil at a grocery store and just popped it in because the ones I started from seed never came up. So, but yeah, I think it's just like a sweet basil. nothing fancy. I do have seeds for cinnamon basil. That's really good. And I do
Cinnamon
want to
basil. Is it
cinnamon
like
basil. It does taste
spicy?
a little bit cinnamony, a little spicy, like hot spicy. I like it. And it's a little purple. I like it. The plant I had last year just went crazy, but it attracted a lot of wasps. And I felt like I couldn't even go harvest anything because the wasps were just guarding it. And so eventually, when it got too hot for it, I just ripped it out and was going to start it somewhere else in the garden. But I'm having a lot of issues with wasps this year. They're just everywhere. I must have a nest somewhere that I can't find. But yeah. Plus the mosquitoes. I get eaten alive half the time in the evening. So, and that's my favorite time to garden is in the evening when it's nice and cool.
Yeah, I just
But I have to put on leggings, I have to put on socks, I have to put on like a long sleeve shirt. It's crazy.
what kind of do you use like any like neem oil or like
Mhm.
pest control stuff like that?
Yeah, I use neem oil. I have a video on my YouTube channel to make a neem oil
Yeah, I
concoction that
saw
I
that
use to
actually.
spray. Awesome. I use that. I have tried diatomaceous earth, which is the powder like shell flour.
Yeah.
Um,
I
that
love
doesn't
saying diatomaceous. It's one of my favorite words.
seem to work for me a whole lot. Um, yeah,
No?
I know diatomaceous. I didn't even know what it was. I had to like Google it to figure out what exactly is this stuff.
Well, I
And
remember I used to have a above ground pool in New Jersey, and I was like the kid in charge of like making it nice and clean. And
oh, poor you.
yeah, so my brother would always like run away, so it just kind of became my job. And but diatomaceous earth was in the above ground pool filter to filter
Oh,
out all the
okay.
dirt. So I'm like, oh, I was looking for it in the pool section
Oh, did not know that.
down
I guess I
here.
didn't clean my pool very well because I never heard of it.
Well, it's like in the filter, so you shouldn't have to replace it too much. But we just have like a bunch of problems with the pool because when you have a 13-year-old taking care of it, they're gonna
Yeah,
like make mistakes.
of course.
But
Yeah. Yeah, those
um,
pools are like a science experiment. It's
yeah,
intense. I ended up
uh,
going down a whole rabbit hole with that pool, and I was so glad when it was gone. I was so tired of keeping it clean with all these chemicals and the filters. I finally bought like one of those motorized robot things that keep your like regular swimming pool clean that you normally buy for like an in-ground pool, and I put it in my above ground pool because I was just so tired of the maintenance on it, and I thought that would help, and it did a little bit, but those things suck a lot of energy.
yeah,
So I ended up just doing away with the pool. But yeah, no, but for mostly for my bug stuff, I either just deal with it or pick them off by hand. Like I have a lot of little caterpillars that if I see a hole in something, I'll inspect the plant and look for a caterpillar, and usually I'll find one and then just pick it off. But I have so much growing in the garden. I have more than enough to share. So if the little buggies want to eat a tomato, I'm okay with it.
yeah. That's my new strategy. Just put as many things in there as possible and get something out of it.
Exactly. I listened to a podcast. It was called the Nature Boy podcast, and it was two gentlemen, and one of them, his name was Gary, and he lived in Canada, Montreal, somewhere over there, and he lived on an Indian reservation. He was Native American, and he would say, he just grew so much more just so he can share with the environment, and I thought, what, that's a really cool idea, and it just really brings down your stress level in the garden because you do put so much work in it, and it is sad when your only tomato plant got eaten by tomato hornworms. But if you had like 10 tomato plants, if one got eaten, it's okay, you have 9 more, you know and he just passed away like a few months ago, or maybe it's been a year. I think it's been a year already, and I've always remembered that, just plant more to share. So whether you share it with your neighbor, whether you share it with a caterpillar, you still have enough for you. So that's kind of what I go by now. I try not to let the bugs, bug me. No pun intended.
I love puns. Very fun, especially food puns. I
Yeah,
just did,
right?
I was like editing, I'm doing this video on how to crack an egg with one hand, and I just put like so many egg puns in it.
That's funny.
Uh, but,
So what made you decide to start a YouTube video or a channel?
um, well, I wanted to do it before COVID because, uh, so before COVID, I was working as an international flight attendant, and before that, I was a I worked as a pastry chef. I did a couple things. I went to pastry school right out of high school,
That's so
and then I
cool.
worked mainly fine dining restaurants around Philly. Um, I helped someone open a food truck.
That's so
I
cool.
and then I was working like high end catering, and then I was teaching, and then
Awesome.
I had like a when you're a chef professionally or a cook, especially a pastry chef, there's not like every restaurant needs a chef, but they don't necessarily need a pastry chef. So
Hmm.
like the well-paying jobs are like there's not a lot of them.
Hmm.
Um, and I really enjoyed teaching too. Actually, it's funny because one of the first thing like I actually taught I used to teach jujitsu when I was a kid
No way.
because me and my twin brother have done jujitsu since we were like 12 and we were really competitive. Um, and I always enjoyed like teaching that. So
Yeah.
even though it's just like the kids class or whatever. But so then in college they had a program where you taught like kids summer camp and taught little kids how to cook and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I did that and I was like, oh, I really like teaching. So when I had the opportunity to I was teaching at a program that like helped people get back on their feet and get a job.
Okay.
Um, so then like in New Jersey, and then we started an online cookie and brownie business that was gonna help those people have a job once they graduated. But like a bunch of bureaucratic stuff happened, and I
Mhm.
think they wound up like firing us all. I had like 5 students
Oh, wow.
that they were all like just getting off drugs or just getting into jail or whatever, and so it like ripped the rug out from under them.
Oh,
And I was just like, if I'm gonna put my heart and soul into something, I can't keep doing this for other people's businesses. I have to do it for myself. And in the meantime, I want to see the world. I'm gonna go be a flight attendant. So that's kind
that
of
is
like what I
awesome.
did. And then I was gonna start a YouTube channel like during that, but I kind of
I'm sorry you broke up for a second.
I was gonna start a YouTube channel like while I was flying, and I just couldn't really figure out like
Okay.
what kind of format I wanted to do and stuff. And then
Hmm.
COVID happened, and in the meantime, also I was teaching pastry classes at Sur La Table on my days off since
Oh, cool.
we moved to Florida. My boyfriend's studying to be an airplane mechanic,
Oh, awesome.
so he takes his test soon. So I can't
Awesome.
wait. But we're so I was working 2 jobs. I was flying and I was teaching pastry at Sur La Table. And then COVID happened and I lost both of my jobs.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
so that's when I was like I needed to start the YouTube channel kind of just to stay sane because if I wasn't
Yeah.
doing like anything, I was gonna go crazy. But also, because I'm not making any money,
Yeah.
I have to like use my chef skills basically to cut all my costs down and still be able to eat healthy and feed me and my
Exactly.
boyfriend.
And
So
it's funny. That's the only thing families can do to adjust their budget is with their food.
pretty
You know,
much,
our electricity bill is our electricity bill. You know, the water bill is the water bill. We can't, but
yeah.
food, we can learn how to eat cheap, but still eat good. I do believe that.
And electricity and water, like when you're cooking too, you can actually, you figure out how to save those two things, which I think is part of it. But I don't. People like act like I feel like people act like, oh, you don't have savings. Like people like you don't get paid enough to live anymore.
Heck no. Heck no. It's so expensive here in Southern California. I can imagine Florida too. You
Yeah.
know, you just I actually got hurt recently and I have a pinched nerve in my back and I haven't been working since March. And we had to adjust our whole budget too. So, you know, I don't know when I'm going to go back to work. But I decided to use this time. I'm actually going to be going back to school as well.
Oh, plane.
I know, there's the plane. The plane, the plane. We live right by Fullerton Airport. So there's always planes going by. Oh, butterfly. Um, but yeah, so we've had to adjust our whole budget too. And we had very little savings as well, you know, and but my son, he started to pay a little more rent to help out mom, and my mom lives with me too, so she's helping out a little bit more. So we're just, we're making it work with what we have,
Yeah.
and no more eating out. And that was a hard part because even though I have all this garden stuff, we still love to eat out, and we completely had to cut out eating out. So but it's, you know it's working. Actually think we eat better just eating at home. We do. So
Yeah. And I think like, there's so much for me, like when I stopped flying, that's kind of when I stopped eating out anyway, because the only time I was really eating out was when I was in a different country and I had my food. So when I
yeah.
stopped flying, like I did save a lot of money, but at the same time, there's only so much you can cut. Like,
Yeah.
and I wasn't, we didn't have money to begin with, so I wasn't, spending money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just think, these people that are like, oh, well, you should save your money. Like, you can't save money if you don't
If you don't
have
have
any
it.
money.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Like,
Yeah. I think in March. No, I've only not been working since May. Sorry, not March. In March, I started to work from home. My husband and I both started to work from home because of the virus. And so both of us were working from home. We actually were saving about $600 a month in gasoline
oh,
just from
wow.
working from home because my work was like an hour away. His was like a half an hour away, but he drove a big old truck. So for both of us to be at home, we were saving. I think my car just now went on empty, and I haven't put gas in it since February.
Oh,
And
wow.
it just now went to empty that I need to put gas in it. So yeah, we've been saving a lot of money just not having to go anywhere. Plus, there's nowhere to go anyway. But so we're putting that money that we would normally spend, into like food because now everybody's at home and we're all eating at home. Like my son wasn't working for a while, but he worked for Knott's Berry Farm. It's an amusement park here in SoCal. They were closed down, but they were still paying him his full salary, which is pretty cool, even though
Oh,
he was
wow.
home. So because I have two teenagers at home and my husband and me and my mom, the food bill just kind of went up. So I guess it kind of all balances out. And I'm trying to stick to a budget. I made a menu for this week of what I'm going to cook. I went to the grocery store, only bought what I needed for those dishes, and I still blew my budget. So I need to reevaluate some things,
Well,
what I
one of
can
the things
substitute.
that I really believe works really well for me is that um I don't plan in like meals, so to speak, but I plan in components of meals. So I'll have a main, maybe a meat or something or a stew, and then I have starches. So I'll have rice, I have pasta, I have mashed potatoes already, and then maybe like a side vegetable. So this way you can mix and match throughout the week because I feel like the biggest enemy is like if you're bored of something.
Yeah.
Like, I have all this borscht in the
Yeah.
refrigerator, and no, my boyfriend Noel is like, "Please, no more borscht. Never make borscht ever again."
What is that? I've never had that.
It is, it's like a Russian stew. It's,
Okay.
cabbage based, basically. The most famous
Okay.
one has beets in it, but there's actually a lot of borscht that don't have beets, but like, the main, like, string that connects them all
Okay.
is, stewed cabbage.
Okay. I love cabbage.
Yeah, well, I don't think Noelle likes cabbage anymore. But after all this borscht. But,
That's funny. Well, it's only two of you guys.
yeah, well, he
So
eats
yeah, like
for,
if I
like,
make,
he eats, like, literally for 3 people. He's a giant 6'2" Dominican guy,
oh
and
wow.
he's doing, the airplanes, he's lifting,
Yeah,
like, airplane
heavy
tires and
things.
stuff, so he eats a lot of calories.
That's cool though. Like we don't have much leftovers in our house, so if there is any leftovers, usually we'll have one of us or a couple of us will have it for lunch the next day, but usually it doesn't last past lunch the next day. So, you know, even though, and I've tried to do that, where like I'll make a bunch of chicken, and I still do this. Like I'll make a bunch of chicken one day, and then maybe we'll have like chicken for dinner. Like I buy the chicken tenders or the chicken breasts, and then we'll eat it in salads for the next week, chicken salad. Um, but but other than that, like I can't make like a big old roast and eat that all week. It's gone like the first day. Like these boys, I'm in a house full of boys, and yeah. My food budget's like but they eat good, you know.
Good.
I love to cook. I love to cook. And I love trying new things as well. So like tonight we're having well the plan was I was gonna make chicken teriyaki and make a tempura batter and fry up a bunch of the vegetables I have. But my kitchen's a little too messy right now. And I'm like, this kitchen needs to get cleaned up before I cook anything else. I need help. I'm one person, So we might have the tempura tomorrow and clean up the kitchen really good today. Um, and
That's
maybe make
definitely
something lighter tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure you
definitely like
understand.
90% of cooking is cleaning.
Yes,
And you're just
yes.
like, "Oh, I don't want to."
Like I don't want to have to do all these dishes just to make more dishes.
Oh, yeah, but I
You
am
know?
so happy I have a dishwasher
Yeah,
because
well, I have a dishwasher too, and my husband's job is the dishes. It is. That's the one household chore I hate more than anything in the world is the dishes. Um, so he does do them for the most part, but usually he'll do them like when he gets off of work, like at 2:30 or 3. And I just don't want to see them sitting there all day. So then I'll just start doing them, And then I'm in a bad mood, and I don't want to cook dinner now.
exactly.
Whatever. I'm so dramatic.
I think everyone's dramatic when it comes to dishes.
Yeah, seriously. And it's so funny, and you're gonna laugh at me, but I'm going to school to become a sterilization technician. So basically, I'm gonna be washing the instruments before surgeries and setting up the trays. So I'm literally going to school so I can be a glorified dishwasher. So that's what I'm going to be going to school for. And so my husband makes fun of me. And you want to do what? My
That's
sister's an
funny.
RN nurse, and she told me she just graduated last year. She became an RN. This is the sister. I have four sisters. Had four sisters. I have three now, but there's three of us now. But she's the one just below me, number 2, and I'm the oldest. She just became an RN last year. And while she was in school, she told me about this course to become a sterilization technician. And she said there is such a demand for them right now. They make really good money. It's only like a 12-week course. And the schooling is like, I think it's like $2,500. And you get certified and you can work wherever you want in the country. It's a national license and whatever hours you want. There is such a need. You can work mornings, evenings, late, split shifts if you want. There's tons of overtime. And I'm just so tired of the 9 to 5. Like I've been in construction since I was 20 years old, working in the construction industry. And it's 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 7 to 4. They're usually really strict about vacation time and this and that because you have schedules to meet. And um, And when you have a doctor's appointment or, everything's during the day. And with my kids, I needed a little more flexibility with a work schedule than just a 7 to 4 and 8 to 5. So I'm really excited. I start school on Saturday. So my son and I my 19-year-old, he's going to take the course as well. So we're going to be attending school. And right now it's online, remote. We're going to be able to go into the classroom maybe a couple of times for some labs. But I'm really excited to try something new and do something different. My youngest son, he's 16. He's recovering from a brain injury. He had a brain injury at the end of 2018. And he's doing good. He's just still kind of recovering from that. But because of doctor's appointments and stuff like that, I need more flexibility in a work schedule. And this job will give me that. So yeah. So I'm going to be washing tools and using these gigantic sanitizers and dishwashers. So yeah, I guess that's where I was going. My husband's making fun of me because that's what I'm going to be doing for a living now. And I hate doing dishes.
Well, they use a lot of cool stuff. They have like, my mom is a nurse practitioner, and
Okay.
so I know like they have like the UV light stuff. They put the things in, and they do a lot of interesting things. But I'm sure you're gonna then like come home and be like, I need to sterilize everything.
Yeah, right? Yes. You're contaminated.
Contaminated. Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, and the goal is, in a couple of years after my son graduates high school, we want to move. We want to pack up and move out of state. I want a farm. I want land, more space for a garden. And with this, I'd be able to work part-time, just work a couple days a week. My husband works from home now, and they're going to let him work from home. So he can work from home anywhere. So that'll be the plan in a few years. And then I can just
Well,
work
hopefully
part-time,
the YouTube channel takes off, and then you could
right?
do that.
To dream.
You could
That
do
would
it.
be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, long ways to go, but yeah, I know. Eventually that day will come. I do believe it. And that would be nice. Just I have a bad habit of kind of giving up on things too. So I just have to make sure I stay dedicated and stay focused, and keep on track. And if
Yeah.
I was gonna just, be done with it, I think I would have already with the channel. But I haven't yet. So I think that's a good sign.
Well, I was when I first started my channel, I had like a bunch of people that like reach out that like I never thought would like reach out to me. And one of them was this guy I went to high school with. And like I knew him in high school, but like we were like acquaintances. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't really know him that well. And he messaged me and he's like, uh, like keep going with it. He's like, I started my YouTube channel like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I just forgot it. Like I just was like, what am I doing? This is stupid. And I recently went back on to just see how it was doing. And when he had like just kind of like given up on it, he said I think he had like maybe like 300 subscribers or something like that.
Wow.
And then when he went back to it, he has 4.7 thousand
Oh
subscribers.
my goodness.
And he didn't even look at it. And I was like, yeah, I didn't realize like it just takes time. Like I didn't realize people, were even watching them. Like so
Yeah, it
now he
takes
just came
time.
out with another video. Um
That's so cool. And I'm over here like, I got 150.
yeah,
Yay.
I know. I'm like
Get here.
can't wait for 200. I can't wait. So it's just gotta keep going, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Have you gotten any inappropriate comments for any of your videos?
yeah, I actually had to make one of my videos private because I was getting like so I made a video on how to sharpen a knife, and the setup was correct, but the technique was like not correct. It wasn't gonna like fuck your knife up, but it just wasn't gonna get it that sharp.
Uh-huh.
And as a pastry chef, like we don't we don't really use our knives that much.
Yeah.
And I just figured, like, I learned how to do it once. This must be the right way to do it. Like, I'll make a video, whatever.
Yeah.
I have gotten the, like, craziest messages. It's like, I gotta turn this off. I'll redo the video. I, like, learned how to do it right. Actually learned how to do it so good that I sharpened my knife, like, maybe, like, 3 months ago, and it's still so sharp, like, I can't sharpen it again. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
waiting
I
for
need
it
to
to dull.
sharpen mine.
So, but I was
Yeah.
getting, like, comments like, "Someone should shank this bitch, she doesn't know what she's doing,"
Oh my
like,
gosh.
and I was
I know
just like,
people are so mean and just crazy. Like I think, and this is actually, I think the very first comment that I've ever gotten was somebody from the UK that said, "Oh, come check out our gardens. I got a big cucumber for you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh. Okay, inappropriate comment. I made it."
yeah, and
Yeah.
I just get a lot of the spam too with, like, the links for, like, pornos and stuff, but I just
Oh
deleted one
yeah.
of those today, but I think that's just like a robot.
Yeah, I get a few of those too that just say very vague things. Um, whatever. I just
Yeah,
delete them too. It's kind of funny. It makes me laugh.
yeah. Oh, man.
So, what are you making for dinner today?
Oh, we're having borscht, we gotta eat all that
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Actually, I gave him a break. I had to cut my basil down a lot. I got like a huge like mixing bowl full of basil. It must have been like almost 8 cups of basil
That's
from the
awesome.
harvest,
I don't even have
and
that much right now.
it was so I made a pesto. So we had pesto with mozzarella and salami cut up and
Mm,
cherry tomatoes in it for
okay.
dinner. So I just ate the leftovers for lunch, but he's gonna be like, "So what's for dinner today?" And I'm gonna be like, "Borscht." He's gonna be like, "Oh."
Hey, better than letting it go to waste. Eat it up.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't.
So,
It actually it tastes pretty good, but it's just when you have something over and over and over again. So
yeah, my husband gets tired of it sometimes too. Like if I make like a giant pot of soup that maybe didn't come out that good, that'll kind of last a little longer and he'll get tired of it. Um, but I love making soups. Soups and stews are like I love it.
me
And
too. Because
like
usually you
last
only
night
have
I
to make
make
one pot.
sorry, last night I made a giant pot of broccoli cheese soup, and there was a lot left over, and we all had that for lunch today. But
Nice.
yeah, I love soups. They're my favorite. You could put anything in it.
Do you make your own stock for your soups?
I do not. I do not. That is something I need to kind of dabble into. Normally, I'll just flavor my soups with like bouillon, chicken bouillon, or beef bouillon. But no, I've never really made my own stock. I think I did once, and then I did freeze it, and I used it. But yeah, I don't know why I don't. Maybe because we never really eat too many things with bones. That's what I'm thinking. We buy a lot of boneless chicken breast, steak, ground turkey, ground chicken, that type of stuff. Nothing too much bones. Maybe I'll buy a rotisserie chicken from Costco, but that's about it.
Hey, that's perfect for stock.
Yeah.
But also because you must have so many vegetable scraps that you can make vegetable stock out of, you know?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. See, I compost, so I just put everything in the compost. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, learn something new.
Yeah, really, that is it Maillard spinach? Is that how you say it?
Malabar.
Malabar. Malabar spinach? I
Yes.
really wanna try to grow that. That looks cool.
Okay, yeah. Message me your address. I'll send you some seeds.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I do have a lot of seeds, and right now, I mean, I wish I could send you a plant. Maybe I'll try. I'll try to send a plant with the seeds. You never know. But because they're just popping up everywhere, like that thing drops seeds like crazy, and their seeds are like little purple berries. It's like a purple, dark purple berry with the seed inside. It's not a sweet berry. There's really no flavor, but it like stains your hands and stuff. Um, so the birds will pick at these berries and eat all these berries and the seeds. And I notice where they poop, because their poop will be purple. I'll have these purple poop drops on everything, and I know they've been eating my seeds. It's kind of funny. But now that they're all dry, you know, they're not, there's no longer any berry around it. But yeah, it dropped seeds everywhere. So every day I'm plucking all these Malabar spinach seed sprouts out of the ground, because if I let them go, they'll just go crazy. So I have to do that every day.
Do you think they do good in such a humid climate?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they are the perfect thing for your climate. Humidity, hot and humid, they love. They're from India, so that's where they originated. So and it's hot and humid over there. So yeah.
Yeah, I really want to get some tropical stuff like dragon fruit and like things that um I know will grow good over there because I really want to try it, but I just have this patio, so I got to be careful. I can't go too crazy. It's
But
such a
they
small
let you put
space.
up like a trellis or anything, or
I can't like drill into the walls or the
Mhm,
ceiling. Um which like there's hooks there, so I guess whoever lived here before like broke the rules, but
mhm.
you know, they've been sending me like letters that I can't have my shelf outside, it's not patio furniture, and they're gonna charge me $75, and then my
Oh
boyfriend's like
please, people have nothing.
yeah, my boyfriend's really, he's like the mayor, like, he doesn't even when he doesn't know anyone, he knows everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So he was able to talk to them and, like, they're gonna let me have this shelf, but, like, they want me to change it to a different colored shelf, you know, like and I'm like, "Alright, well, buy me a shelf then, because who's got money to buy" like, I got that
yeah,
shelf for free, like so, you
yeah.
know, he's kind of, like, got him off my back now for a little bit, I think, but, you know, it's just kind of ridiculous because it's like, there's plenty of people that have just junk on their patio, and, like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it, like, a nice spot, you know? You should be, you know,
Maybe you can
rewarding
paint
that.
it to like the same color as the house or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
people have nothing better to do than complain.
yeah. Technically, I'm not allowed to, like, be doing projects and stuff on the patio, like spray painting. I got in trouble for that.
Yeah, you're just causing all kinds of trouble over there.
Okay.
You're fine now.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
just
I can hear
like,
you now.
you know, where else am I supposed to do that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Um,
So, oh
but
well.
we'll see how it goes.
Someone's always going to be mad. You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
do
gonna
what makes you happy and just deal with it later.
yeah, we're just gonna try to keep living as cheaply as possible so we could save up and buy a house and then not have to deal with anyone's crap.
Right?
That's our plan.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice having to, do whatever the hell I want. Don't have to answer to nobody.
Yeah. And yeah, because that
We did live
garden
in an
is awesome.
apartment and we had a big patio. Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, I used to live in an apartment with a big patio, and I used to decorate it for like every holiday, and like especially Halloween, which is my favorite holiday. I'd put all kinds of lights and things hanging and all these things off my patio, and of course they complain. And I'm like, really? Like, my kids love it, the neighbors love it. It's not harming nobody, you know. It's
Especially
literally
when like
bothering
neighbors. Yeah. When neighbors come by and they're like,
nobody.
that's beautiful. And it's like, really? Are you like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
because you're adding to the community, you know? I didn't know any of my neighbors until I started this garden. And then
Isn't
people
that
are
funny?
like coming by and saying hello. Like,
Yeah. That's awesome.
oh,
That's really awesome. And it's so funny. Gardening just like brings people together. Like our neighborhood, I live on a street where there's a lot of foot traffic. So people are always walking their dogs, running, riding their bikes. And I have a few things in the front, um, that I planted some really big sunflowers out there, and they've stopped me. Oh, I love those sunflowers. I've never seen those kind before, because they have like the multiple heads. Um, you know, and they'll start talking to me about that or whatever plants I have growing outside. A couple of my neighbors have some big vegetable gardens in their front yard that I like to walk down and check out their stuff. And it just opens up conversation. You start talking about this and that. And it's such a positive thing, you know? So, like, you really can't say anything bad about gardening. I'm trying to think if you can. Maybe if somebody doesn't really maintain it, but you know, it's just such a positive thing.
Yep. I agree. So I guess I should let you go so you can make dinner.
I know I'm thinking my husband, he has band practice tonight, so he probably won't even be here until later. So I'm thinking, what can I make really quick? But you know, I have no clue. I hate when I have no clue, because then that's when you're tempted to go out. But
Yeah.
but no, I need to stick to my guns and make something. I don't even know. I'll figure it out.
You should record it. Dinner on the fly.
Heck no, my
Video.
kitchen's a mess. You don't know how long it took me to clean my kitchen for that last cooking video. With all these teenagers and their dishes, and they take something out, leave it on the counter. They don't even close the dang cabinet door. I'm like, ah. But anyways, but I think that's what I need to do is I need to clean my kitchen right now and then make something easy so I don't dirty it again. But I do plan on doing another cooking video, maybe Friday, tempura some of the vegetables from the garden. Just another way to use it. Because I finally got to pick some of my acorn squash, so I'm really excited. So I want to cut those up.
Have you ever tried the squash blossoms, like the zucchini flowers?
No, I have not.
It works really well with the
So
tempura
I don't.
batter.
Oh, maybe I'll. Yeah, if I have any, I should pick some and fry those up. I do see some right now. I need to grab them though early in the morning because that's when they're open and they don't have any bugs on them yet. By like this time of day, they've already started to close up and it's filled with bugs. So yeah, I need to get them early in the morning. But yay, I'll try that. Thank you. Well, this has been fun.
This has been fun. I guess I should do it. All right. So
Thank you.
make sure if you're listening to subscribe to Steady as She Grows with Lorinda. And
Thank you.
yeah, hopefully we'll do this.
Yes, sounds good. Thank you so much, Grace. It's been fun. Take care.